Hey guys, so during the Legends information video, we had a special appearance by our good friend Toshi to talk about the World Championship for Dragon Ball Legends. We have a news tab post right here that we can take a look at, and that is what we're going to be discussing in this video. This is a pretty special thing. If you guys were playing way back in the day prior to the first anniversary, they did do one of these. It was called the Showdown in Las Vegas. It was basically determined by a string of LBR matches. If you went undefeated in the LBR season, I think you advanced to the next session, and then you had to play through that, and then you ended up actually flying out to Las Vegas to compete in the finals. And if you guys remember, that is where they revealed the first anniversary Super Vegito and Blue Goku and Super Saiyan Shao. That was when Shao first got the Super Saiyan transformation. So it was a very special event, probably one of the most fondly remembered events ever in Dragon Ball Legends. So the fact that they're doing this again is pretty good. I think this actually can breathe a lot of life into the game, even if I don't personally really think this game is super competitive, and I think most people would actually agree with that. But at the end of the day, this is going to help the game and help boost how popular it is and help get more eyes on it, which at the end of the day is good. So let's go ahead and read what we got here. We also have a section during the Legends information video that we can go back and look at, and there's actually also an official website which we can look through as well, which I actually haven't even looked at yet, so we can experience that for the first time together here. But announcing the Dragon Ball Legends World Championship 2025-2026, a massive event to to decide the world's strongest. The online preliminaries are scheduled to be held from late July to early November, and the top 8 players who advance through will be invited to compete in the Finals Championship Tournament. The finals will be held in Japan on February 7th, 2026. Whether it's live and in person or via the live stream, join us to witness the crowning of a new world champion. So they do mention that you can go in person. So I might show up. Even if, obviously, I'm not planning on making it to the top 8 or whatever, because who knows what's going to happen. Again, half the game is RNG based. But if I'm here and it's in Japan and it's in Tokyo, which it probably will be, maybe I'll stop by. Maybe I will. Who will take home the title of World's Strongest? And then they have the link to the website here. So let me just actually shift over to the Legends information video here. And we have Toshi giving a breakdown of what we can expect from the, structure of how to actually qualify for the finals here. So it looks like there are 3 stages before the actual finals. We have the first stage, which are split up into different sessions. And then we have the second stage, which is in October, and then the third stage, which is in November. And then the finals are in February. So that is quite a big jump. I want to say the reason why they have the finals in February is because that is going to be held at Battle Hour. I want to say that. I'm not 100% sure. If you guys recall, this year in 2025, Battle Hour was canceled. I think it was due to the wildfires in Los Angeles. The Battle Hour was originally scheduled to be held in Los Angeles, and of course there were some unforeseen natural disasters with the wildfires occurring, so they couldn't actually hold the event. So maybe they are going to hold this event in Japan in February, and that is why they have such a big gap in between the third stage and the final stage, because they want to coincide the finals to be held at Battle Hour, which would be pretty cool. I've never been to Battle Hour. It's always been a terrible place geographically, and it's also been at a terrible time as well. So hopefully it will be. And this actually lines up with Dokkan's anniversary, and this is a pretty hype time for being a Dragon Ball fan in general. So I really do feel like that could be why they have it in February. But let's take a look and hear what Toshi has to say about the schedule, and we can talk about it.
Here is the overall schedule. Online preliminaries will be held among all players worldwide from late July to early November. Online preliminaries will be made up of multiple stages. The top 8 players worldwide who clear every stage will be asked to attend the Finals Championship Tournament. The finals will be held next year in Japan on February 7th, 2026. Now, let's discuss the preliminaries you need to clear to qualify for the finals. The preliminaries are made up of 3 stages. The first and second stages will be held in-game using the Legends Battle Royale feature.
Okay, so just based off of what he's talking about, it definitely sounds like the first stage is going to it's going to be just like a traditional LBR season, and everybody who plays the game should be eligible to participate in the first stage. So it's a very, very open playing field for that one.
And the third stage will be held online using the friend battle feature. Starting with the first stage, there will be 3 separate sessions. The winners in each session will move on to the second stage.
Since there are 3 sessions, that means you have 3 chances to move on to the second stage, right?
Right. Players.
So this is an interesting thing to this, because this actually does have a side of strategy to it, I think. They're holding 3 sessions here. I think the reason why they decided to do it this way is because, let's just say, for example, you really want to compete in this World Championship. If they only had 1 session that was held, let's just say from July 23rd to July 30th, and let's just say you were like out of town or something in that time period, that week, like you have like, I don't know, your best friend's wedding or something, and you're going to be away for the week or whatever, like just, so for some reason you're just not around that week and you wouldn't be able to participate there. They want to be able to provide other options for you to at least have a chance of participating here. That is, I think, the reason why they decided to split this first one up into 3 different sessions. But the reason why this is interesting is because obviously there are going to be different characters available during these time periods, right? So the end of this month in July 23rd to July 30th, the entire meta is going to be dominated by anniversary characters, right? Because the anniversary is going to be just finishing. And we're probably at this point also going to have our after party LF character. So depending on how good that character is and depending on how that character changes the game, that will be what the meta is revolving around. But we jumped to August, like August 20th to August 28th, or sorry, 27th. We're going to have even more characters out by this point. And then even in September, dude, we're talking 2.5 months from now, there's going to be probably way different characters that exist in the meta. So I think it's probably better to look at this. And if you're somebody who summoned a ton over the course of the anniversary, it might be better to jump in during session A to give yourself a better chance. If you're somebody who doesn't really summon for a lot of new characters in between major celebrations like Legends Fest and Anniversary, it's probably going to be better to jump in sooner. But if you're somebody who does summon on a lot of banners, maybe it actually is better to wait for the other sessions. However, I don't think these are mutually exclusive, so you can just participate in all 3 anyway. And like Toshi said, even if you like lose in session A, you can go to session B, have a second chance, and then if you win in session B, then you can move on to the second stage. So it really doesn't hurt to just play all 3 sessions if you're interested in this World Championship series regardless.
Will be chosen to advance to the second stage from each session. So even if you don't advance in session A, you can participate in B and C and get another chance. In short, during the first stage, reach the top ranks in Legends Battle Royale and stay there to advance to the next stage. Players who have advanced to the second stage will not be able to participate in the remaining sessions, but we will have special in-game missions for those players who have made it past the first stage.
Okay, so what he's saying here is, let's just say, for example, if we rewind, let's just say you play in session A and you win, right? You go undefeated in Legends Battle Royale and you qualify for the second stage. You will then not be eligible to participate in the Legends Battle Royale Session B or Session C because you would have already qualified under Session A. So what that means is you will technically be missing out on the rewards you would be getting from playing those Legends Battle Royale seasons. But for people who have already qualified and are not eligible to participate in the remaining sessions, you'll get special missions that probably make up for the lost rewards that you would have been able to get under those other sessions. So that's pretty good. The one thing I really hate about this system, and this is something I've talked about at length just about Legends Battle Royale in general, is the limitations, right? You're getting 3 per day. You're getting 18 tickets. I imagine you have to win all 18 matches to qualify to move on. So you have to actually play over the course of 6 different days. I guess you can also... I guess can you just like accumulate these over the course of the entire period and then just like play 18 matches at the end? Like, I actually don't know if that's the case, but I'm not a fan of this. I don't like how they do this, because like, what if you're only around, like, okay, let's go back. Okay, so this first session is from July 23rd to July 30th. What if you're only around on like July 29th, right? And you can't log in every day to play the game. I mean, yeah, you could just, it is pretty easy just to log in once and get the tickets, but this is assuming that you're around every day to play, is what the system is saying, which I don't know if is very good. All right, let's keep going.
Make sure you prepare carefully for the second stage. Now, there will also be special in-game missions and participation rewards in connection with the first stage.
Okay, yeah, so this is just for the first stage. So the Legends Battle Royale format, you get Shallot card sleeves, World Championship card sleeves, and a World Championship title, it looks like. All right, yeah, this is going to be the area of problem for at least me.
Make sure you've finished setting up the data transfer settings with your Bandai Namco ID and the main story cleared up to Part 1, Book 7, Chapter 6 by the due dates set for first stage sessions A, B, and C. We will distribute tickets you can use to join to players who are able to play PvP rating matches. For the second stage,
okay, here's the problem. Obviously, the first condition, no problem. Clear up to Part 1, Book 7, Chapter 6 of the main story. Very simple. Problem is number 2. Okay. Registered a Bandai Namco ID and used it to set up data transfer settings. So I've mentioned this many times before. Here is the current problem that I am experiencing, okay? When they first dropped the web store, you needed to register a Bandai Namco ID to your Dragon Ball Legends account. The Bandai Namco ID that I had registered initially to my Dragon Ball Legends account was a Japan Bandai Namco ID. And the reason why is because I live in Japan. Okay? However, the app that I use is the US version from the US App Store of Dragon Ball Legends. So there was a region mismatch between the country of origin of my app and the Bandai Namco ID country of origin that I use to link to the game. So there was a mismatch there, which, you know, you wouldn't really think would be an issue because you're just simply registering the Bandai Namco ID of the country you're living in to the app. So that's what I did. So when I went to log into the web store, it told me that the service was not available. I think I forgot the exact wording they used, but it was something along the lines of the service is not available to the country or region specified by your device or something like this. It's some kind of like, you know, like nonsense error message or whatever that was. So I could not use the web store, could not access the web store just because of the same issue I just mentioned. There was a mismatch between the regions of the Bandai Namco ID and the app itself. So, okay, fine, no problem. The simple solution, I thought, was just to simply remove, unlink the Japan Bandai Namco ID from my Legends account and link a US Bandai Namco ID to my Dragon Ball Legends account. So I did that. I created a US Bandai Namco ID, have it all set up. It works perfectly fine on Dokkan. Dokkan, I had the same issue. I just simply went into the Dokkan app. I unlinked. Very easy. Took me 3 seconds. I unlinked the Japan Bandai Namco ID from my Dokkan account, and I linked my US Bandai Namco ID to my Dokkan account. Boom. Works perfectly. I can access the web store. It's perfect, and there's no issues at all. That's not the case for Legends, though. There's always got to be an issue with Dragon Ball Legends, right? There's always got to be a problem. When I go to unlink the Bandai Namco ID from my Dragon Ball Legends account, the Japan Bandai Namco ID from my Dragon Ball Legends account, so that I could link the US one, it does not let me unlink it. So what did I try next? The next step I tried to do was I tried to delete my Japan Bandai Namco ID completely. So I did that. I deleted my Japan Bandai Namco ID. No longer exists. Certainly this would fix the problem, right? The Bandai Namco ID is entirely deleted. Now I can just simply log into Dragon Ball Legends and link my US ID. Boom, problem solved. We're all good to go. No. That's not what happened. We go back into Dragon Ball Legends, the app. We try to link the new US Bandai Namco ID. What is the error message that pops up? There is already a Bandai Namco ID linked to this account. So the problem I am experiencing right now is I have a deleted Bandai Namco ID linked to my Dragon Ball Legends account, and I cannot unlink it. So that is the main problem with this second step here. I mean, technically speaking, I do have a Bandai Namco ID linked to my account. It just doesn't exist. So I don't know what the solution is. I am going to continue to press them on this because this is something I would really like to participate in. But I mean, they just cannot fundamentally grasp how their own system works. I don't understand how it's possible that I could have a deleted Bandai Namco ID linked to my account. It doesn't even make sense. A non-existent ID is linked. So I'm going to try and figure this out, but that is what we're working with right now. I think they actually mentioned that there is a deadline for this. First stage Session A deadline is the 16th, so we have 6 days to do this. I would really like to be able to do this before the deadline passes, otherwise I think I'm just not going to be able to play. Unfortunately, I just don't think I'm going to be able to play. So let's take a look here at the website, because I think this should give us a more in-depth breakdown of what's happening here. Warriors from across the globe gather on the ultimate stage, Dragon Ball Legends World Championship 2025-2026. Who will come out on top? First stage, an in-game online preliminary that all players who complete the entry process can participate in. The top 5% of each session will... Oh, the top 5% of each session. Okay, so I guess you don't necessarily have to win every single match, but it's based on the top 5%. Okay, that's good to know. If we open this... yeah, the preliminary will have 3 sessions. We already saw this. Competition periods... yeah, we talked about this already. Entry deadline. Okay, so it looks like, yeah. So worst comes to worst, if they can't figure out the Bandai Namco ID issue by the 16th, which is in 6 days from now, then at least I probably should still be able to register for the Session B and Session C slots. So that'll be good, I guess. But I would like to participate in all the times, but sure. So this deadline is August 13th, and this deadline is September 10th. Entry tickets for first stage sessions A, B, and C will be distributed to players that have registered a Bandai Namco ID and use it to set up data transfer setting by the entry deadlines and have cleared. Yep. The competition will be held in the Legends Battle Royale format. Players will compete over Battle Royale power. The players who earn the most Battle Royale power in a given session and meet the advancement requirements will move on to the second stage. Okay, here's the time slots. Yep. We have all this down. Yep. Free tickets daily by 12 UTC. Yeah, you have to log in every day to get these. Okay. Okay, yeah, I mean, it sounds like you probably can just hoard these. Like, you could probably just, like, if you don't have time to play the game in this time slot, you should still be able to log in, claim the tickets, and then like just kind of hoard them for one day where you can log in and just play a bunch of matches, I think is how this works. This is standard Legends Battle Royale stuff. If players have the same BRP, their ranking will be determined as follows. Players with more wins will be ranked higher. Players who dealt more damage will be ranked higher. Okay. Top 5 players in each session. Yes, you're going to have top 5% of players from Session A, B, and C moving on to the second stage. You are not able to check your own ranking while Legends Battle Royale is being held. Results will be announced about 1 week after the end. Details about which places advance to the second stage or about individual player placement will not be revealed. Okay. Just see anything interesting here. Nope. Second stage. An in-game online preliminary, 192 of the top players from the second stage will advance to the third stage. This one is also Legends Battle Royale. The competition will be held in the Legends Battle Royale format, and players will compete over Battle Royale power. The players who earn the most Battle Royale power during the competition period immediately advancement into the third stage. Okay. So how does this work? Advancing players. Where would I be placed in here? Would I be placed here or here? Definitely not in server 2. Geographically, I'm here. But my account is North America. So it's the top 64 players from each region. A total of 192 players, the top 64 from each Dragon Ball Legends server will advance to the third stage. So account for the potential withdrawal absences. Okay, they're getting backups as well. Servers are based on the region a player normally plays from. Okay, so I would be in Japan, actually. I would be participating in the Japan server, which... I mean, you know, no bias, but it is by far the hardest server. Announcement of results. Yep, we already saw this. What's about the third stage? Players who pass the second stage will be invited to the official Discord server to take part in the online. Okay, this is going to be like friend battles. Is how this is going to work. 64 players from each server, double elimination, best of 3, standard rules. We can probably talk about this more as we get closer to this, because this is going to be held in like November or something. So there we go. That is essentially a gist of how the Legends World Championship is going to work. The finals. Oh, it is in Tokyo. Okay, good. That's where I live. So yeah, maybe. Oh yeah, Dragon Ball's award plaque, top 8 to get stuff to was. You get top 8. You still lost. Like, why do you get anything? Give everything to the champ. Hello. Anyway, that's an overview of the Legends World Championship. I do think this is a good thing. They just have to tighten up on the Bandai Namco ID issue, because I know a lot of other players are also experiencing the same type of issue. It's not just me, but let me know what you think about this, and I will see you guys in the next one.